Hello, today we'll take a look at a new BGVP affordable model named BGVP Scale Pro. Actually, they created two models. One is Scale Pro, second is just Scale, and Scale is a double dynamic driver model, and Scale Pro is hybrids with single dynamic driver and single armature. And basically their price is almost the same, about $20. I will add links to the Yao Yao Tiger shop in the description. And actually I don't think there is much sense in telling you what the company BGVP is. It's well known on the portable audio market. They created a lot of interesting models and lot of just like normal. But today we will talk about the Scale Pro. I had an idea of getting both of them and doing some comparisons, but then I decided that $20 dynamic driver is kind of familiar in terms of tuning, and cheap hybrids is more interesting thing for me. So let's dig into the box. Pretty nice looking, actually noticeable step forward compared to the typical KZ packaging. Inside you'll get some manual, earpieces. So let's put them out, and box with accessory set and even storage pouch with cable inside. And here we've got some ear tips, I think. You can see they are really generous company. They gave two set of tips and even short clip, so like accessory set and packaging for this price tire is absolutely unbelievable. In terms of design, it's traditional approach with a transparent inner part of shell and a nice fancy faceplate. I really like this faceplate with honeycomb texture. Looks pretty good. For this price I'd say probably even great. And traditionally for the transparent shells you can see inside dynamic driver itself and socket and balanced armature, so everything in place and everything is honest. They made spouts of metal, there is a lip and protective grill, so in general for build quality, design and presentation I don't think there is much sense. I don't think we can expect more. In my opinion, they even exceed expectations. Stock cable is like well, not great, not terrible. So looks pretty fancy, you know, like this pure white color, nice ear hooks, and even MMCX connectors. Actually, MMCX connectors in affordable segment usually makes me worry a little bit, because cheap MMCX connectors sometimes can be not durable. But this one feels really strong and with a really good holding force, so we'll just see how they will behave after some long time. So far out of the box they are working great. So cable looks fancy, there are ear hooks, but also it's a bit prone to microphonics. And it's noticeable, ear hooks reduced, but still sometimes I can feel it. There is a metal splitter with chin slider, and it goes down below to the regular 3.5mm jack. There are versions with microphone if you need it for your smartphone or something like that. But in general I think for this price the exterior part is kind of good. And of course about the sound. Traditionally I tried to burn them in for about 48 hours, but it didn't give any outcome, so don't spend time on that. And in terms of tuning, actually it's what you can expect from nicely tuned budget model. Accented low frequencies, but not overdone, pretty punchy and powerful, and they transitions in somewhere in the early mid frequencies to the balanced armature that delivers you nice amount of details, and that's probably one of the most like popular and safest tuning options, but done pretty nicely. So bass has a good depth, not maximum, but pretty nice, and you know, I'm kind of sure that nowadays someone managed to produce in China really good dynamic drivers, because even in the super affordable models bass sounds, well, not superb, but really nicely, with good amount of details, nice texturing. And there are a few versions, like if you want more bass, less bass, but in general it's like good dynamics that delivers nice balanced sound with nice weight and punch. It's really good here, with good texturing, of course lacking overtones and the rich saturation, but still like really pleasant low frequencies, especially if you like additional accent there. But here accent is not overdone, so in general earphones sounds kind of fun, but pretty good. And they're universal, you can enjoy them with electronic music, because you'll get nice punch and nice amount of frequencies, and with some more like realistic instruments, because also they have nice resolution. And the bass here is controlled pretty well, so it's almost not shadowing the higher lying frequencies. And as an example, here I will use Onuka, Vidlik, great folk electronic project from Ukraine, and here they used one of the most unusual folk instruments in Ukraine called bugai. It gives that really sound that is stands out from the vast majority of instruments, and they sampled that sound, added nice bass line, lot of different other folk instruments. In general, you know, Onuka is really tastefully done electronic project with lot of style, with expensive videos and good quality of record, so they care about that stuff. And this earphones plays it pretty nicely. And mid frequencies, lower part is represented by the dynamic driver, so it has a bit of additional weight that actually plays really good with low male vocals, giving them additional weight and presence. And then starts armature part. Of course, coherence is not perfect here. There is a noticeable place where the frequency bands teach, but actually it's not too big and not too paying attention. And then you'll get nice amount of detalization, bit lightweight, bit lacking weight, but in general not too much and not too focused on the micro contrast, like, you know, balanced armatures, not trying to sound super analytical or like overwhelm you with amount of details. Imagery stage is above average, not by a big margin, but still above average, nicely built. Thanks to balanced armatures, they adding additional airiness to the sound, and because of that it sounds nice. Of course, you can use them with almost any quality of material, like they don't require some superb remasters or like DSD 256 or something like that. No, streaming services are good with them, Bluetooth receivers are good, so MP3, of course if it's not 128 kilobits per second. So everything sounds pretty nicely, and they even managed to hide some minor issues in the records. Probably it's a really good thing for the affordable model. And example for the mid frequencies will be Tangerine by Led Zeppelin. Guitar, vocal, of course they lacking overtone saturation at high frequencies, they lacking a bit of refinement on mid frequencies, but still in general guitar and vocal sounds really pleasant and definitely enjoyable. You know, if you won't go to that audiophilia crooked path, it's still like a really good model, especially for that price. And the treble, it's not over accented, so nicely balanced, not too sharp, but in general has nice extension, slightly above average, of course nice for this price tier. And it's just balanced armature, slightly lightweight, slightly fast, slightly airy, but in general not too sharp, not over energetic, at least for me, giving nice amount of airiness and representing basic overtones in a pretty good way. And example for the treble will be famous band from former Yugoslavia. It's Bijelo Dugme. I like their music, despite disliking some political views, but in general their music was great, and the ostariš, one of their greatest tracks, or at least the one that I like most. And it has really high-pitched percussions, some different bells and some metal percussions, and all that stuff is really saturated, and with models with super accented treble, they sound fatiguing. But here it sounds nice, it lacking overtones, of course, lacking layering, but at the same time not fatiguing, and they sound still like pretty realistic. Not superb, but pretty enjoyable. So if you want to try something unusual, definitely check this band out. In terms of sources, actually they don't require something fancy. If your phone headphones output is okay, they will give you nice sound. Or you can use some not expensive digital to analog converter for USB Type-C, also will be pretty well playing. Speaking about the comparisons, to be honest, don't remember well a lot of models that I reviewed in this price tier, like TRN ZSN Pro. They sound a bit worse in terms of treble. This model has some more advanced or better tuned balanced armatures, so upper mids and treble here sounds more refined. And sorry, but I forgot other models, like TRN made a lot of affordable models, and there are some KZ models in this segment, but only one that I remember well is the SN Pro. In general, if you're looking for something nicely tuned and pretty pleasant in the affordable price segment, it's a really great option, especially taking into account superb presentation and accessories set.